Hi. In this presentation, we'll see about contingent workforce management application. In ServiceNow, we have out-of-the-box solution for employee onboarding that comes under HRSD model, Human Resource Service Delivery. But there is no dedicated application for contingent workforce, and there is no efficient method to generate timesheet and invoices in the custom applications. And there is no way that custom applications which are being created, it's very difficult to automate all those and coordinate all these steps. We have created this application that covers all these problems, and we have created a dedicated application for this solution. So the workflow is the job post has been created by the organization and has been posted in their instance, and it gets can be the vendor can log in and see those job posting, and they can submit their job profiles, and business team can review and schedule the interviews based upon the job profile. And once the candidate has been selected, the information is shared to the vendor and onboarding gets completed. Once the candidate is onboarded, they can submit the timesheet. The timesheet gets converted into an invoice through an automated flow. The key feature of this application is vendor has a dedicated login, and they can see all this information in a dedicated dashboard. And there are so many personas available in this application. For example, business user profile can access some kind of data. Vendor can access only their profile and their organization profile. And procurement team can decide how much each pay grade can have how much rate. And we have a timesheet module, and we have a automated invoicing module, and we have created inbuilt actions for flow designer that helps us to easily integrate with other third-party applications such as Workday and SuccessFactors for easy data input. Okay, let's see a quick view how it looks in ServiceNow instance. So we'll go to vendor login and see the job postings and how they're job submitting the job profile. So this is the dedicated dashboard the vendor can see. We can see there are quick filters available, quick navigation, and if we click on any tile on the number, it all pre-filters and shows it in a record view. So we can see the the profile just has been applied by the vendor. And for example, job postings, we can see the number of job postings that has been posted by the organization. As I am a vendor, I can go to any job profile and I can submit new candidate. Once the candidate has been submitted, it gets displayed in the bottom of the page, and we can see the status of the job profile. We can even withdraw the application. We can see all the information related to the job profile. For example, the hourly rate, the timesheet type. These are information provided by the organization. And as a vendor, I can see all the information and submit my profile. Once the job profile has been submitted, the mapping of the job profile and posting, we can see it in the job posting only. And once the candidate gets onboarded, they can submit the timesheets. The candidate can log in the time when and even if it worked partially, they can mention like I have worked partially. And once the user submits, it gets to the backend and it goes to the manager approval. This is the entire vendor and the candidate workflow. We'll go to the backend and see the employer login and how job posting is done by the employer and how the mapping and of the job profile and the posting and once the user profile has been created, how it looks, all those we can see it now. We have all the job that has been submitted by the employee. So for example, this job posting integration specialist. So we see the pay grade cost inform as a cost information. This pay grade H1, H2, all these pay grade related and the cost information is provided by the business unit and the pay grade information is accessed by the business team only. Related to the job posting, the employee can fill out all the information and they can see the job profile that has been submitted against the job post and we can see the skill that has been tagged for the job posting and we can add further skills for the job posting so the vendor can monitor and they get notified when job posting has been created for that skill. And these are the job skills. There are so many job skills and we can create further skills and we can tag this. So if we see any job post example here, this is just applied by the vendor and we can schedule an interview and we can assess reject. We have separate workflow for this job profile assessment and we can schedule interview and we can select the interview schedule time. This gets reflected to the vendor and we can either accept reject to the candidate. Once the candidate has been onboarded and they submit the timesheet, they can see all this information related to the timesheet and the content, all this information here and invoice that has been generated gets attached here. The invoice has a separate module. So whichever the invoice has been generated, all those information has been gathered and like they gather so much information from the vendor, for example, the address, billing details, due date, and all this information gets stored here and gets generated as a invoice. If we look at the invoice, so we see uh, this invoice, we can see the tax calculation and the hourly rate and the amount and the logo. Everything is generated within ServiceNow.